Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So it is that time again. It is time for us to do our 1 minute book recs. This is where we go over all the books we read in the past week with 1 minute synopsises for each book. But
make sure you hit that subscribe button. We love to give away free books, and you could win these calorie books, which we give away. We will give away when we reach 1,500 subscribers. Follow us on Instagram for an extra entry.
Yeah, you definitely want those books. All right, so let's talk about our reading week. I know we were both we had a little less free time this week.
Yes, Jessica's got a kiddo graduating
tomorrow. I get to see you tomorrow.
I know, I'm so excited.
We've got family visiting. It's just a little crazy this week, but and you're coming down to the end of the school year.
Yeah,
so
it's the end of the school year. So unless you're like, I feel like, oh my gosh, my hair's doing that again, Jessica, and you're just gonna not say anything.
I don't. Well, the recording line, it says recording right across your head. I can't see your hair.
It was sticking out right here.
I don't have my glasses on either.
What should I expect from somebody who walked me into a tree once when I couldn't see?
It had been a week of walking into the bathroom at 6 a.m. I was tired.
I don't think it was 6 a.m. I think it was like 8.
It felt like it. We were teenagers. It could have been 10 a.m. and we would have felt like it was 6 a.m. Sorry. Okay, I don't have my glasses on. My vanity.
I'm ovulating.
Wasn't ovulating. No. My mom kept saying it was gas. Yes. And I was like, I'm ovulating. I was. Okay, it's getting hot here. Okay.
Those are some fun stories we should share.
Yeah. Someday. We could really tell them about a lot of. Yep. Okay. So how many books did you read this week?
I read 6 books this week, but 2 are a duet, so I have 5 to talk about.
Okay. And I read 7 books this week. I didn't have any duets, but I did have 2 5-stars. So the first book I read is the one that I messaged you this week and was like, oh my gosh, this book, like, I didn't cry, but I teared up. And I can see that if you read this, Mandy, you're probably going to bawl your friggin' eyes out. Okay. So this book was so freaking good. All right. So this is called The Cabin. It's by Jacinda Wilder. And this is about Nadia. And she is married to Adrian. And he's dying. He has found out that he has cancer, and he's gone through treatment. He is a writer, and he writes romance novels, and he knows that he's dying, and he doesn't tell her. He goes to treatment without telling her, and he just wants to keep her from it. She's a nurse, and she just goes above and beyond and will always be a caregiver for him. And he realizes that if something, like, once he passes away, she will kill herself by working and giving of herself until she dies and joins him, unless she just does it herself, kind of a thing. And so he creates this last book to create a love life. Like, he wants her to be able to move on. And so this is the story. This is the story of her and Adrian, and this is the story of her and whoever he sets her back up with. It is, oh my gosh, this story was everything. Like, I can't even, like, it ends on a happily ever after, but it is everything. It is absolutely everything. I was so into it. I've seen it once before, but I haven't seen this book. Like, I've seen one other person rave about it a couple of years ago, but other than that, I haven't seen it around. It is, when you're looking for the angst, there you go. Gut wrenching. It's great.
It sounds awful.
So good. It is so good. I gave it 5 stars. It was just, and you will die. Like, when you finally read it, you'll be like, how did she only tear up reading this book? I'm sorry. I am a cold-hearted something rather. Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So what's your first book?
Okay. My first book is Taken by His Sword by Florence A. Bliss. And this is a brand new author. This is her first book. So I was very excited to get the arc for this. So this book comes out on this Tuesday, June 11th.
Okay.
So historical romance. I'm ready. Okay. So we have Alex, who returns back to where she grew up, and she immediately runs into Felipe. And her and Felipe have history, as in the last time that she saw him, he gave her her first kiss and then promptly went off and slept with another woman. Who does that? Oh my gosh. So you can just imagine how she must feel about him. But she returns and she has been a guide. And so she is going to guide them through some like caves and some forest land and stuff because there's been raids on their lands. And so she's going to help him and his men kind of protect their area and guide them through this. And we have some other woman drama. We have angst. I mean, obviously there's heartbreak. Oh my gosh. Incredibly good, especially for a first book. So definitely an author you're going to want to put on your list, especially if you like historical romance, to be checking out. And this is the first book in a series, so there will be more books coming. So definitely check this one out, especially if you like historical romance. You're going to want to check it out.
Okay.
Can you just imagine though? First kiss and then he goes off and sleeps with, it's like, wow.
He douche canoe.
Yeah. I don't know that they said that back in those days, but yes.
They should have. We should all say it. Okay.
I should say though, Felipe is still a very redeemable character.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes. All right.
Okay, so my next book is another one that I loved this week so much. So I'm excited to tell you about it.
All right.
Okay.
Do it.
So this book is called Quiet Beautiful Things by Samantha Christie. It just came out about a week or so ago at the tail end of May. And this is about Blake, who is a single father, which he doesn't know he's a single father. He gets information. Well, no, he finds out at the very beginning of the book. He gets information that one of the girls, he was a complete hoe when he was in college. He slept with everybody. He's still doing that. He's got quite the reputation. And he finds out that he's a possible father to this little girl who's 4. And she's been neglected. The mom is in rehab at this point, and the grandparents want to find the father because they have a world cruise to go on, and that is their priority. So it's horrible. This poor little girl. He gets his daughter, and he's told that she's very isolated. She doesn't talk. She doesn't do anything. Like, she just doesn't have communicate with other people. He gets her, and within a couple of days, because of connections in town, like because his family is well known in this town, discovers that she is completely deaf. She's 4. She's never been taught how to communicate. She's never been she lives inside her own head. She cannot communicate in any way, shape, or form. She can draw pictures.
That's horrible.
It is horrible. But that's where we meet Ellie. So Ellie has just moved to town, and he and her have seen each other twice, and they have this instant chemistry, and they see each other. They've never talked to each other. They've seen each other at a distance, and it's stopping your heart just kind of stops when you see her. Ellie is brought in because she works at the blind and deaf school that's in town. When she sees his little girl, she immediately accuses him of being a heinous father, because this poor little girl has been so abused and neglected over her first 4 years of life, not knowing that it wasn't him that did it. And that's kind of their meet cute. She is deaf. Ellie is deaf as well. And so you have this guy who just wants to be a good father to this little girl, and he immediately picks up ASL, and he is really pushing, and then you have Ellie and the daughter. I love the situation. There's some reasons why, there's the reasons keeping them apart. Ellie has her own trauma and stuff too, but I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it so much. And it's the start to another series. She's starting another series, but these series, they're all interconnected. So the one that you read by Samantha Christie a couple of weeks ago, we see, I don't care if we see him or we see his brother in this book, but we see some of those guys in this book. They all live in the same town. So excited. I'm excited for the next book.
I gotta go. I have to go read that book.
Okay.
Oh, darn it. I was trying to switch to you.
Nice try.
I'm leaving. I'm going to go read that. That sounds so good.
It is. It was so good. Now, the next book that comes out, which is supposed to come out this fall, is The Brother. And the brother lost his 6-month-old baby and his wife in an accident, like a carbon monoxide poisoning when he was at work situation. And he's isolated himself in this cabin. And it's supposed to be like a snowed-in situation with somebody.
What did you do? Look up like the most emotionally horrific books and like
I
write
just
them
Samantha.
down?
No, I just love Samantha Christie, and this popped up, and then I was like, oh, and then I was reading, I was like, I want the brother story too. So, but we already knew. I'm talking way too long about this, but we already knew from one of the. No, that was a Kern Michaels book. Never mind. I was like, somebody was definitely one of those, but that was a Kern Michaels book. Okay, anyhow, what else?
Wait, what was the name of it? I didn't write it down yet.
Quiet, Beautiful Things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So good.
I'm seriously gonna go read that. That sounds really good. And then I think I want to read The Cabin too. I might put that on my list for after school gets out though.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. What else you got?
Okay, I just need to say that my next books are a great reminder that sometimes you can read a book by an author that you don't really care for, and you should maybe give them another try. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't do that because I have like 1,000 books on my TBR.
Yeah, I know.
This is just a great reminder of that because I read, and these are beautiful covers. I read An Optimist's Guide to Heartbreak and A Pessimist's Guide to Love. And I know they're kind of like psychedelic here, right? But they're really pretty. That's the focal point of my, my review. The books are pretty. So these are by Jennifer Hartman. And we have Lucy, who recently just bought the childhood home of her friends, like the house next door to her. She just bought that. And it's where Emma and Cal grew up. And Lucy and Emma were very good friends when they were children. And Cal was Emma's older brother that Cal and Lucy kind of had like a little bit of a thing going on, but they were much younger. And then something has happened that's kept them away for many, many years from each other. And it's told in dual timelines. So we're kind of getting pieces of what happened as well as pieces of what's going on right now. Cal's kind of a closed off jerk. And Lucy, I don't even know how to describe her, but she really likes Cal. So she puts herself in really weird situations to be around him, in my opinion. So I rated it 3 stars. I know it has great ratings online, so I'm super sorry. It was missing like that. I call it the oomph, but I should really figure out a better word for that. It was just missing that for me. I didn't really care if they got back together. I didn't really care what had happened that had kept them apart. I just didn't care about them. And I love Jennifer Hartman. She's wrote some of my favorite books. Like I read Older is her newest release. It was fantastic. I love it. It's going to be on my top books of 2024. Still Beating. Oh my gosh. Lotus. Like she's written fantastic books. Maybe this was just too, I don't know. I just don't know. But man, these covers are pretty.
Yeah. We'll give you that. Those were your Belle Book Box covers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note.
Yep. Let's yeah, I have a book to read, so.
I know. So I read a Lauren Beale book next. It's just a little novella. You know, let's talk about it. So this isn't as crazy as, Lauren Beale can get crazy. This one's not as crazy as normal. So this is called Wanted. This is on audio. I got through it very quickly. But this is about Vanessa and Cole. So Cole's life has fallen apart. His wife left him for whatever reasons. He's gotten into drugs and now he's just strung out and he robs people instead of working his corporate job. He breaks into homes, robs people for money to go buy drugs. So he's doing that. He's broken into someone's home when he didn't realize that people were home. He ends up killing them.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, I know, it's a whole thing. So then he escapes, like he flees before the cops can get there, before he gets found out, and he breaks into another house to seek refuge, and that is where Vanessa lives. Vanessa is home, so he takes her as his captive for a time while he's on the lam, and that's she's a nurse. He's got to get clean. I'm looking at you now because I don't need a timer much longer.
Oh, sorry. The
No,
timer was still going. I'm just reading my notes, so I'm ready.
I know, but that's pretty
Sorry.
much it. I mean, it was very quick. It was a quick read. There wasn't a lot to it. I gave it 3.25 stars. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just didn't have. It was a novella, and it didn't have like what I normally get from her. So that's okay. It was good. I enjoyed it while I listened to it. It just was a novella. So
a 3 means in my world, and probably
mine too.
yours as well, that you liked it, and somebody else, other people should check it out.
Yeah.
If we read a book or 1 or 2, we're warning you to stay away.
Yeah, and
but
sometimes
3 means that there was nothing like horribly wrong with the book.
but
You
there was
might love
nothing
it.
that made it stand out either. So I mean,
I
we
rated
enjoyed
these
it.
bad boys a 3, and I know people love these.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean that they're horrible. It just means that it didn't have that extra oomph. So we enjoyed it in the moment.
Yeah.
For the most part. We'll tell you if you're not supposed to, if we don't want you reading it. Or we not that. We'll tell you if it didn't work for us and we did. You guys do whatever you want.
If there was problems with the book and we're like, save yourself some time, like there's way better books out there to read.
Yeah. But reading is subjective. Something we hate, you may love. It's all good.
Yeah. And sometimes it's all mood.
Oh, especially with us.
Yeah. We're moody bitches.
We are. I told my husband to put it's getting warm up here. It's muggy. I told my husband to put in the air conditioning because ours are window units because we don't have AC. And I'm like, please go get the AC this morning. And he's like, eh. And I'm going, please go get the AC this morning. And then he was like, a little while later, why are you so moody? I'm like, because I'm hot and we don't have the AC going.
Are you going through the change?
No, I just don't like to be hot. No. Okay, what else you got?
All right. My next book, I'm very proud of myself. I'm working on my TBR already this first-ish week of June, or is it? Yeah, it's still like the first full week of June. And so I think I read the last book in the Devil series by Elizabeth O'Rourke. So now I'm starting at the beginning. They're semi-standalones.
Yeah.
So I read A Deal with the Devil by Elizabeth O'Rourke, and this is Tally and Hayes. So Tally is still kind of recovering from a fairly not so sorry, there's a bird staring at me from my window. I'm easily distracted.
It wants our recommendations too.
Apparently I love bird watching. I've reached that age. Okay, so Tally had a pretty bad breakup a while ago, and she just hasn't quite gotten over it, but she's not really dwelling a lot on it either, if that makes sense. She could move on, but she's still a little hung up on like, why didn't she see the signs? That's kind of where she's at in life, okay? So her friend Jonathan is going to be taking a leave of absence from his job as a PA to Hayes. So he gets her the job because she needs the money like desperately. So because she's trying to write a book and it's not coming together so well. So she gets the job, and there's a reason we call it a deal with the devil, because Hayes is kind of a devil, but he is a British devil.
Ooh.
And one of her responsibilities as his PA is removing the women from the house in the morning. And yes, I did say women because sometimes it's more than one. I really enjoyed it. We have like the whole enemies to lovers thing. We have fantastic banter between the two of them. Like she comes up with like crazy things that she tells him she's going to tell the women upstairs. Just really crazy stuff. And oh my gosh, I love it. And obviously boss employee. So it was very good. Solid 4 stars.
Awesome. Okay, so I also got a book off my TBR this week too.
Good job.
Thank you.
Only 14 more to go.
I know.
One of these times we're going to do it. We're going to get all 15.
One of these times. Guys, don't hold your breath, but it will happen at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say I read The Flame King's Captive by Chloe Chastain, who is Lilith Vincent. But before I switch over, I downloaded the audio because the audio came out this week. At the beginning of the week. And I messaged Lilith because or maybe it was end of last week. I don't remember. End of last week. Anyhow, audio came out. I was so excited. I started listening to it and I called you and I was like, I am so confused because we had chapter 1 and then I wasn't paying attention to what the narrators were saying for chapters. And it took me like 2 days to realize I only listened like the first 4 chapters. I realized that it went from chapter 1 to like chapter 17. And then it went back to chapter 2, and then it went to like chapter 20 something. And I was like, what the heck? And I messaged Lilith Vincent and I was like, I don't know if you know this, but the audio was not put together correctly. And then a few days later, she messaged me and she's like, my editor took care of it. It's fixed. Just remove it from your tablet and then re-download it. So undo the download. And it was fine when I listened to it. So if you guys are ones that did that and you were like, this audio is messed up, it's fixed now. So I just wanted to say that because there were some people commenting on Amazon and being like, it's a mess. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just reach out to the author and find out what's going on? But people don't realize they can do that. So anyhow, okay, so let's talk about it. So this is a fantasy, and it is fantasy Omegaverse, which I was all like, woohoo, dragons and Omegas. Guys, seriously. So this is about Isabel. She was taken from her home about a year prior and given to these priests that kind of rule over their land. And she's treated very poorly by them. If you don't have the money to pay your tithe, then they like take your daughters, basically. They're kind of ruled by this really bad king. Well, the king, she was technically married to him the day that he died because he can't go into the afterlife without a wife. And so they're going to throw her on the pyre with his body because she has to die too if the king just died. And she's like the least loved chippy that's been taken by these priests. Anyhow, she's getting ready to get thrown on the pyre when a giant dragon lands with a dude on it. And there's a war that breaks out and the dude takes her because the dude immediately, who is Zabriel, smells her and realizes that it's his Omega. So he takes her to his castle. He keeps her as his captive, but do you really, she's not really captive because Zabriel's amazing, okay? And I wouldn't fight that too much either. So there you go. There's so much to the story. There's a lot of world building in this one. And it ends on a cliffhanger. The second book is out. The audio is not out for that yet, but obviously the second book is out. I loved it because you're combining some of my favorite elements and throwing in an Omega. Like, dude. So, I gave it 4.5 stars. So, just because it ends on a cliffhanger, it's not complete yet. So,
when you wrote it and you're like, and then this dragon, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Here we go.
This is a dragon like shifter romance.
No. We just ride them.
That's where I thought you were going for half a second.
I know, you're expecting me to say like this dragon shifted and it was her stuff, but no, that didn't happen. There are books like that out there though. Just saying. If you want that, there are some. Okay. Got another one for me?
Yep.
Okay.
There's no dragons. No smelling people.
No knots.
No knots.
Dang.
So disturbing.
No, it's not. Okay, you ready?
I guess.
Okay, are you ready for me to switch over?
Okay, so I read The Dream Guy Next Door by Lauren Blakely.
Okay.
And by read, I mean I listened to, but same thing.
Yes.
But anyways, I listened to it on Audible. I loved it. It's a shorter one, and sometimes it's just fun to listen to a shorter, sweet book. So that's kind of what this is. So Liam moves in next door, and apparently I had a thing for British guys this week because Liam is also British. So his hot British self moves in next door to January. Now, January is a single mom, And I think her daughter's like 15. And Liam is a single dad. And I think his son is like 10 or 11. And he moves in next door, and the two of them kind of hit it off. They both have some pretty painful things in their past. And so January is kind of like really just finally feeling her independence and does not really want to get married again, doesn't want to have more kids. Like, she's very happy where she is in life. Where Liam, on the other hand, due to some circumstances, missed out on some parts of his son's life and would really like to experience, like, he's ready. He wants to find Mrs. Right and have family and all of that. So how does that work when you have somebody who's like, I'm very happy being independent and I don't need more children, and somebody else who's like, I want the whole family package. So I really enjoyed it. It was cute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Did I say I rated it 4 stars?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I did. 4 stars.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So my next book, I can't talk about. We have a really fun upcoming video for you guys, and that I read it for that one. So we're just going to skip that one, and we're going to go to your next book.
Okay. That comes out on Thursday.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Convincing you guys to read some of our all-time favorite books.
Yep.
We've had fun doing the combo ones.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So, okay. Do you have another book?
I do.
Okay. Tell me about it.
So my next book is an ARC. And this is Come Break My Heart Again by C.W. Farnsworth.
Okay.
Ready? Oh, it comes out June 14th.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, let me set the timer. There we go. Okay, so we have Elle and Ryder, and I really just don't know how to talk about this book because C.W. Farnsworth was extremely vague about what this book was going to be about. But I love her stuff, so I was excited to sign up for an ARC for a new book from her. So we have Elle and Ryder. This is second chance romance, and we switch back from present day to the past when they were in high school. And we don't know why, but something happened that caused them to no longer be together. And it's all very mysterious, and the puzzle kind of goes together as you read the book. So we've got second chance romance. We have forced proximity. We have first love. We have kind of like the bad boy, good girl vibes going on in this story because Elle comes from a lot of money and lives on the correct zip code of the town, if you will, while Ryder lives on the wrong side, the good side, the wrong side of the tracks, that whole thing of the zip code in a trailer park. Oh my gosh. The angst in this book and how emotional it was, and I absolutely loved it. It is a solid 5 stars from me. It is going to be a favorite of the month. It will probably be like in my top 5 of the year. I loved it. I cried. I could not put this book down. It was amazing. So many things happen in this, and it has something that I totally love in a book, but I can't tell you because it's a spoiler.
Okay.
It's really hard to talk about it because there's just too many things that are spoilers. So kind of go in blind and just read it. She goes to the very first chapter, she's going to somebody's house and you don't even know who this person is that she's visiting with for a while. It's just so freaking good, people. Go get it and read it. I absolutely loved it.
Okay.
Loved it.
Okay. Okay.
Angst.
We love some good angst.
Yes. I've been in a very angsty mood.
All right. So for my last book, I listened to a new audiobook, and it is a Pam Godwin audio. So let's talk about that. So that is Incentive by Pam Godwin. It is only one of 2 books that at the time I hadn't read by Pam. And so this one just came out, it was a surprise audio, and I grabbed a hold of it. So this is about Lainey and Decker. Decker is having a hard time. He's down on his luck. He just loses his job, but he was bartending, and he has a situation that happened in his past that kind of affects the jobs that he gets. And he
was
bartending at this place, and one of his customers, he felt like the guy just kept hitting on him, and he's like, I don't, nope, I'm good. And when he loses the job, the guy that's, you know, kind of befriended him, that was hitting on him, is like, I have an offer for you, but you have to be invited into this situation, and it's a year-long contract. And no, you're not a prostitute, but it is a year-long contract, and there is sex involved. And so he signs up because the money is just too good to do this situation through this group of people. And basically what it is they provide high-end clients with a friend for the year, per se. And that is where he is introduced very quickly to Lainey. Lainey is a actress. She is older than him. She's 40, and she has a tumultuous past, but she's been divorced for a couple of years from her husband, who was also an actor, who, you know, was a complete douche nozzle, whatever. And this is there, so that he's contracted to her for a year. I gave it 4 stars. You know, when we read Pam, we're used to having the dark and stuff, and you really don't get that much in this one. I mean, you get little tiny little nibbles here and there, but it's not a lot of dark. But it's still Pam, so it's still written very well. So yeah, 4 stars.
All right.
So that was our week.
Yes. All right. So make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know how reading's going for you. What are you currently reading? If you're not currently reading anything, what are you wanting to read? What are you in the mood for if you're a mood reader like us? Tell us all the bookish things in the comments below. And then make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us. Hit that subscribe button because we do enjoy dropping surprise videos.
Yeah, we do. We like that. That's fun. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.